Hi, welcome back. Today we are closer to the end than the beginning. That's a good thing. We're working with the sound sh. In our early episodes, we learned that sh is usually S, H, and it makes the sound sh to be quiet. But now that we're advancing in this wheel of information for reading, and we are developing our vocabulary, we have to move into bigger words, more descriptive words. But those words have morphemes from morphology that has suffixes, prefixes, roots, and base words. Well, at the end of many multisyllabic words, there is a shun sound. Shun, explanation. I'm giving you an explanation. And so we have a shun at the end of words very often. And in these higher level words, there's no such ending as S, H, U, N, shun. We don't live in an N-A-S-H-U-N, nation. We have to spell shun differently because it's a fixed unit of meaning. That unit of meaning creates something that is an idea. This is communication. That is a thing that I am doing. Now, let's watch Nahiko and Mahina as we delve into not T-I-O-N, a little bit of S-I-O-N, and then another sh sound without an un at the end. Let's watch.
Okay, Nahiko, we're back with the shun sounds, and we left off last week with the S-I morpheme.
Yes.
Can you read the two words that are under that category that we worked on last time?
We have set,
And we know that this is what?
shun,
Yeah, so say it. Say it one more time.
session.
Yep.
We have session and compersion.
Uh-huh. Compression.
Compression.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll try our one more or two more. How about the word? And let's get our mirrors. We're a little, gotta get warmed up after the weekend, right? And our word is going to be discussion. Okay, so go ahead. What's your word?
Discussion.
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 And how many syllables did you hear?
Discussion.
Okay.
3.
Discussion.
Discussion.
I got you. Okay, so let's take it one syllable at a time. First syllable, dis.
Dis. D-I-S.
Beautiful. What was the second syllable? Dis?
Shun.
Cuss.
Oh.
Discuss.
Discuss.
Shun.
Discussion. Discuss. Discuss. Sounds like an S. What is C?
Dis is your first.
Dis.
Second syllable, cuss.
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 Cuss. Cuss.
Yeah. K, k, k,
Us.
Uh-huh, that's correct. Is that a C and a U that I'm looking at?
Yes.
Okay, that's correct. Discuss.
Discuss.
And then shun.
Shun.
Yeah.
S-I-O-N.
Okay. Now, I want you, one thing, we're missing one thing in there. So, dis,
Dis.
cuss,
Cuss.
shun.
Shun.
So you have shun with the SI, but did you hear that? Cuss,
Yeah.
cuss. Okay, so what do you think you want to add in there?
Um,
Dis, cuss, shun.
Cuss. Cuss.
Yes, that is what you are missing, right after the U. You just told me correct. Yes. Awesome. So what is
Another-
your word?
Discussion.
Okay, beautiful. Discussion. Beautiful. All right. Excellent. Let's go ahead and let's do admission. Admission. Shall we syllabicate? Okay. Go ahead.
Admission.
Add.
Admission.
Shun. Okay.
Add.
Mm-hmm.
AD.
Is that a D?
No, it's a B.
Okay. Second syllable.
Add.
Miss.
Miss. M-I-S.
Shun.
Shun. S-I-O-N.
That is lovely. And what is your word?
Admission.
Beautiful. I like the way you break it up into syllables. Here's a word that we are familiar with, and we have all felt this feeling before. Tension.
Tension.
Okay.
Tension. Tension. Ten.
Beautiful syllable.
T-E-N. Shun. I-S-I-O-N.
And you did that with no tension whatsoever. That was beautiful, Mihiku. And Miss Elizabeth, this is lingering in my mind, something that you said, that when you add these morphemes, it makes them ideas.
Yes.
I had never really thought about it in those terms. And
the shun.
that clicked.
Yeah, it is the idea that's a noun that people forget about. And remember, a little clue is if you can put the article a or the in front of a word, it will also turn it into a noun most of the time. So it is an idea, and this is an education that we're having right here.
Great, thank you, Nihiku, you did that really well.
Nahiku, I like the way you did that for the camera because as you were writing, you were saying the letter names. And if I were to ask you to go back to the word tension, what do you think might have been the root word that came from?
Shun.
Tension comes from how you feel when you feel everything tighten up. What's that called? When you feel
Stressed.
stressed, another word for it begins with your T-E-N. tense.
Tensed.
You get tense. You get anxious. Tension is something that comes out of being tense. Agree?
Yes.
Okay. So most often, not always, you will have a root word, a word that could stand alone. You could dismiss something, or you could discuss something and then have a discussion. So those words are embedded and you just add the shun. Okay, let's go on. There's another one.
Awesome. So Nihiku, before we move on to the CI shuns, let's go back to the SI column. And we have the words that you wrote down so beautifully, right? Make the shun sound. There is something very similar, a sound that is very similar that doesn't occur very often, but it does. So let's go ahead and look at those. So how about down here, you write SI again with a little 2 on top if you put it, yeah. And that's going to, why don't we keep it under the SIs? Because it's still going to be a SI, it just sounds a little different. Okay, and put a little 2, okay. And again, put your hand on your throat and say shun,
Shun.
and then say jun,
Jun.
jun. Did one of them
Jun.
vibrate your throat a little bit more than the other?
Yes.
Okay.
The second one.
The
did.
second one. Okay, so that's why we're putting the 2 over there. All right. Lahiku, I'm going to ask you to write the word vision. Vision. Okay, so let's go ahead and put your hand on your throat as you say each syllable.
Wait.
And what's your word? Vision.
Vision.
Vision. Okay. Go ahead.
Vision.
Did you feel that
Vision.
vibration?
Vision. Vision.
Vision. Yes. So
Like
that,
Dijon.
like sounds like Dijon. That's not a SI though. And that's from a different language. So vision. If we feel that vibrating in the throat, right? We know it's going to be an SI.
If it's at the end
If
of a
it's
word
at the end of the word.
or in that last
Okay.
syllable.
So we have vision.
Vij.
Say and do. Your word is vision.
V. Vi.
Vi.
Vi. Vi.
Jean.
Oh. Dijon.
Jean. Mm-hmm.
Vision.
So it's
Vision.
just like that. Excellent. Okay. Next word. Division. How many syllables there?
Division.
Division.
3.
Very good.
Duh.
Di.
Oh. Di. Di. Dia. Duh. Vij.
Yeah. Division.
Vision.
Yeah. Vision. Vision.
Division. That was anything different?
I think we say I think a lot of people say division.
There's your pragmatic language.
Yeah.
That's how it comes off.
I was trying to remember that over the weekend. What's that word, Miss Elizabeth? Says
Or-
pragmatic language.
And there's also something called a schwa. A schwa is a particular sound that is uttered from vowels after the first syllable of a word and before the last syllable of a word. And it sounds like division, yet it is an I. So it happens very often in our language, and it's something we have to get accustomed to, and we can call it a schwa, we could call it pragmatic language, you choose. Okay.
Okay, let's do one more with the zh sound. Explosion. How many syllables do we have there? What's your word, first of all?
Explosion.
Okay, how many syllables?
Explosion.
Okay. How many syllables was that?
Four.
Explosion.
3. It sounds like there's 4.
I can see that.
X.
So let's take it syllable at a time and say and do.
EX.
Second syllable,
Sploge.
explo.
Oh, splo.
Plo, right? Because you have the x
Plo.
right here. So you got x.
PLO.
Uh-huh. And
Explode.
how are we ending all
Shun.
of these words?
SION.
Beautiful. Explosion. There you go. You did that in a snap. Alrighty, shall we move on to CI?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds great. Oh, okay, so coming from the word, root word, coming from the root word face, okay? The word is going to be facial. Can you say that?
Facial.
Okay. How many syllables did you hear there?
Facial.
Beautiful. Write it down. Gosh, that is going to help so much. Your grasp on syllables. Right. That is beautiful. Yes. How do you spell it?
FACIAL.
Beautiful. And that word is?
Facial.
And what's the root word of facial?
Face.
Beautiful. Okay. This next word comes from the word space, and it is spacious. Spacious. How many syllables in the word spacious?
Spacious. 2.
Okay. Go ahead with the first syllable and do and say.
Spay.
Mm-hmm.
Spay.
Not a C. Not a C.
SA. Spay.
Sp, sp. Yes. Spay.
Spay.
Shus.
Shus.
So what's going to make our sh sound? Yes.
Us.
Okay. This is great. We do have an ending, a suffix that we will use commonly.
And you have that list in the previous page. And that is the list of your suffixes that can be ended.
Let's find that. Awesome. Love the journal. So I believe it's this one. Do you see anything that, yes. So what letter are you missing?
An O.
Yay!
Spacious.
Awesome. Awesome. Spacious. Can you spell spacious?
SPALCI.
This is not an L. You know what? Use a different color. That's
Yeah.
your syllable line. Yeah. That's going to confuse you.
Totally. Itinerary-house.
Okay. Now
Okay.
let's keep
Spelled
that.
it correct.
How do you spell it? Sorry.
SPACIAL. O-U-S.
That's beautiful. Let's not let that journal get too far away. We're going to do another one. It comes from the word finance. What do you think the word might be?
Financial.
Beautiful. Yeah. How many syllables?
Financial. 3.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Fine.
Fi.
Oh,
Fi.
Fi. Fi.
This would
Yeah.
actually be an I, right? Fi.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Nan.
Mm-hmm. None.
Fine. Wait. Fi.
None.
Nan. Chol. Wait.
Did you finish your second? So we have fi, nan.
Fine.
So go ahead and what's that last sound that you hear in the second syllable?
Yeah, you might need to see the word finance or remember that your root word, nance. Finance.
Nance. Nance?
So I'm thinking now, so as a learning guide, somebody who is learning along with Nahiku, I feel the need to finish that second syllable. So I want you to look in the mirror. And even if we bring out our tiles, listen to the sounds in the second syllable. Nan.
Nan.
Uh-huh. So you have na.
N.
That's what we need.
Another N.
Yep.
Fine.
See? Fine. Nan. And now shawl. Uh-huh.
All.
Beautiful. Beautiful. What's your word?
Financial.
Okay.
Financia. Oh, L. A-L.
Very nice. Let's do one more from this column. Or two more. Let's do two more. Okay. From the word music. What's a person who plays music called?
An artist.
But it has the word music in it.
Musician.
Beautiful. How many syllables?
Musician.
Alrighty. You want to give it a shot? Okay. Say and do.
M-U.
Uh-huh.
Zish.
Mm-hmm. Music. Actually, just a Z. Remember, so musician, right?
Zir? Like Z-I?
So it's not a Z. What other sound can make that? What other letter can make the Z sound? That's not a Z.
An S.
Yes. Music.
Z.
And we know that our sh. Musician.
Z.
And if you're not sure, grab your journal. Music.
Usher. What?
So you have musician. Now we need that.
Wait. I'm getting.
Yes, because it is that almost, it's kind of the schwa sound, yeah? Musician. And so grab your book. And because I know that you've, when you see it, I believe you will be able to identify it. Musician.
Musician.
It's not here. Okay, so this is the other thing I do. I'll say it like this. Musician.
An.
Mm-hmm.
Does An belong in here?
It's not here. Yeah, so would Anne be on this list?
No.
Okay.
And always, if you can turn to your root word and get that out first, music, and understand that, and then I believe you could just add that IAN to make the shun sound. This is a tricky one, and that's why these zhuns are separate and not as common as the one that's quieter, shun. And I would just, in this case, write music, and then we're going to have to add the IAN.
Okay.
Jean.
Yes, see how it comes out of the CIAN. That's a tough one.
So you have the word music, right? And then you would add the ending IAN.
I.
Uh-huh.
A.
A musician.
N.
Okay. Now underline with a highlighter the CI. Okay. And can you see, but you can also see the word music, right? Okay. And then you know to add to that the IAN. And it's the CI that makes the sh sound. So I understand what you were saying, Miss Elizabeth, about going by syllable.
Or by going by morphology. And right now in this book, we are doing syllabication. Our next presentation to our lovely audience is going to be using the morphology as a way of decoding or encoding words. And what we just did when I intersected with you was to make music as a morphological unit and add IAN to it to turn it into what? Is it still music or is it something else? Musician. It's now what? Is it something that we hear, or is a musician something else?
Okay.
Turns it into a person.
Okay. So I'm going to try it that way. Okay. So Nahiko, our next word, the base word is electric. So let's go ahead and let's write electric first. Okay? So how many syllables in the word how many syllables in the word electric?
Electric.
Okay? So go ahead and let's write electric. Electric.
E. Lec.
Mm-hmm.
Lec.
So it's a E, yeah? Elec. Yeah. Yeah. Electric.
Lec. Trick.
Yeah.
Like trick? Or
So that's one of those, it sounds like
There's that now CHR ever in the English language.
so it's not going to be a CHR. It's like tr. Do you hear? Tr. Elect. Yep. Rick.
And of course, it doesn't look like what you get at Halloween, a trick or a treat. It will be without the K.
Electric.
Electric. So the k sound at the end.
Oh.
Yep. No need the I, just electric. Okay. Now we're going to change that word into, by adding a morpheme at the end.
That will turn it into
That will turn it into a person. So what person What's a job?
Electra, yeah, that.
Mm-hmm. Which is what?
Electric, I don't.
Electrician, yeah? Okay, so let's turn that into, we have electric, yeah? Okay, so we're gonna turn that into electrician. So
Shun.
what did we do here? With musician,
Shun.
we have electrician.
Shun.
Yes. And what is your word?
Electrician.
Okay, electrician. Beautiful. Okay, so how are you feeling? Because I'm feeling
Brave.
feeling great.
I need a breather.
Okay, great time.
Okay.
Thank you, Nahiku and Mahina. Thank you for patiently going through this journal or notebook that will become a reference for you as you develop your reading and writing skills. On the very last page are different combinations of those letters. Those letters from A to Z are called the alphabet. Alphabet. There is no S at the end. It's a unit of meaning. It's a morpheme that sits by itself. That means it's a string of letters from A to Z. And the alphabet has only, how many letters do you know? 26 letters. English, what can you do but throw your hands up and say, what more could those 26 letters do? Well, there's a whole lot more. Those letters can combine themselves to make brand new sounds or sounds that are similar to other sounds. So in this Spalding book of sorts that you are making, Miss Romalda Spalding called those phonograms. Phono means to hear. The gram is the grapheme that was written. So phonograms are combinations of letters that you can hear as a sound and see as a distinctive pattern. There are many in this Spalding book, but we are doing a reduced style of the book. So I'm going to give you a few Nahiku that you know, but they come as often as they do in our language that I'd like you to put them on this page. Let's label the top of the page on the top line with a word that you have heard before, or at least the prefix is multi. Multi-letter phonograms is the title of this page. So instead of doing it by syllables, I'm going to ask Nahiku and Mahina to write the word in morphological units. The first unit means something. It's something you do when you are finished adding, subtracting. Before you get to that word with the jeune of division, you have to learn to multiply. Multi means many. So your first word of the two-word title of this page is multi-letter phonograms. Let's watch them as they try to label.
Okay, so the first word that we're going to label, so the holes on the left, is multi-letter. Some people say multi, some people say multi. It's spelled the same way. How do you say it, Nahiku? Do you say multi or multi?
I would prefer to say multi.
Okay, great. So that's the first part of our first word, multi-letter. How do you think you would spell multi? Yeah, multi.
M-U-L-T, mult.
M-U-L-T, and what's going to make that E sound? Multi.
Or the I sound.
See, yeah.
Again, your schwa will take its place.
A Y?
That is a very, very logical answer. It's going to be an I.
Just a plain old
Yeah,
Y?
just a plain old I. And the second part of that word is letter.
Like letter? Like that full-on word.
Like the full-on word. Like I'm gonna, like
Send
letter.
you a letter.
Yeah, or send me a letter. Yep.
Right. And if you need to put it into syllables to get the let and then the second syllable, you might have to.
She didn't need to. Okay. She got it. That's excellent. So what's that word?
Multi. Wait. Multi. Letter.
And what does that mean?
Multi-letter. Multiple letters.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And then second word is going to be, did you say phonogram or phonogram?
Phono.
Phono. Okay. Phonograms. Phonograms. How many syllables there?
Phonogram. Phonogram.
Yeah.
Phonogram.
So that was 3 syllables. But we're not taking it by syllable. I forgot. Phono. What is the word phono? How would you spell that?
Phone. No. P-H-O-N.
Yes. Phono. Yep. You got that PH without hesitation.
And what happened right now, Mahina, is that the use of syllabication and morphology just met.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice to have more than one tool in your toolbox. Yeah. Phono.
Phono.
Yeah. So you have phone o. Grams.
Grams. Like grams of salt.
Yes. Connections. Connections help so much. Absolutely. Yes. So, what is the title of this page?
Multi-letter phonograms.
Beautiful. Yeah. Well done.
So you're going to just make a list. Your first phonogram is E, E. Repeat.
E, E,
And what do you think the sound is?
E.
You're correct. We have it in all kinds of words from tree to sea and embedded in the middles. Okay, next one.
Okay, wait. You gotta write it down.
Okay. E, E, and the sound is?
E.
The next, skip a line, and the next 2 letters, the multi-letter, is A-Y. Repeat.
A-Y.
And directly underneath A-Y, would you write A-I? Repeat.
A-I.
And somehow, will you put a parentheses beside them to show they have a relationship?
More like joining them. More like this. Yeah.
Oh,
What's the
Math little symbol.
parentheses called, Mahina, that has a little nose in it?
I can't remember, but I'm sure. So,
you just
yeah.
little.
Parentheses with a nose in it. Okay.
It's not a bracket.
No, I don't know the name of it, but we'll find out for you when we return. Nahiku, AY is always found at the end of a syllable. Repeat the word play.
Play.
What's the last sound in play?
Play. A.
It is spelled with what two letters?
A-Y.
Correct. And that will be found at the end of a syllable in any configuration of a word. Now, AI has a sound. What do you think it is, Nahiku?
A.
Of course. And you will find that embedded in a word like rain. They go together, and their distinctive feature is, if you're looking for that A
Rainy?
sound, say it again, Nahiku.
Rainy. Well,
Brainy, yes. That's a good place for AI to be. I like it. All right, let's skip a line and let's look at another multi-letter pattern. It's O-Y. Repeat.
O-Y.
And directly below it are the two letters O-I. Repeat.
O-I.
Then you have to make that bracket with the nose to connect them. And then the reality is O-Y sounds like oi. Repeat.
Oi.
What word do we know? First word you know when you're a little kid, your playmate might be a,
Boy.
and there's your O-Y. Can it be embedded in a word at the end of a syllable? Yes. You can have a boycott, and it is a multi-syllable word. The O-I, on the other hand, can be embedded between two consonants, and it says oi, like in a word boil. Say boil.
Boil.
Say boil without the b.
Oi.
Listen, I tricked you. Say boil.
Oil.
Say boil without the b.
Oil.
Yeah, I made another word. Now say oil.
Oil.
Say oil without the l.
Oi.
That's the same sound as O-Y says. The only difference is where it is placed in a syllable. Okay, very good, Nahiku. Let's continue. And would you do me a favor and write the two, skip a line and write O-A. Repeat.
O-A.
Oh, that's a simple one. It sounds like, boat. Ah, what's the sound in boat?
Bo-O.
Oh, those are two letters together that are making the sound O. That's a phonogram. All right, and let's skip. Here's one that I like a lot. It's I-G-H. Go ahead.
I-G-H.
I-G-H has one sound. I. Repeat.
I.
And where would we find that I-G-H-I sound?
Maybe right.
Right. You're right. But what kind of right says I-G-H? Is it this kind of right? Or that right?
Direction.
Direction right. You're correct. I'm not going to sigh about that. She's got the I-G-H. Now here's another one that creeps up all over. D-G-E. Your turn.
D-G-E.
Yeah. D-G-E. It always follows a
P-E-G. Yeah, it's weird.
good correction.
E-G-E.
That sound
D-G.
D-G-E.
see how when you're working your triangle, to be an excellent learner, you want to see, say, and do. Because often this thing acts like it's not connected to this thing in here. And sometimes I just have to tell my hand, you're not listening to me. Talk to your hand. It'll pay attention to you because it belongs to you. Okay, so we're on DGE. DGE. That G has a second sound. What do you think, Nahiku?
E.
What's the sound of that G?
The J.
Excuse me. The J. Exactly right. That D has no sound. The E has no sound. The G is just the second sound. And what's the sound of DGE now? J. Repeat.
J.
I know. DGE. Anybody like anything with flavor? What would the word be if you like something that was chocolatey?
I know.
Delicious.
Delicious, and it begins with a F.
Ends with a J.
In the end of the word.
I don't like brownies, and I don't like this either. It's too rich. F, U, D, G, E. What do you think? Now, this may be a learning moment. Write it down, what I just said. You will see the word. F, U, with the ending DGE.
Forge.
Again? You have your F at the beginning? Okay, what do you got?
Forge.
Forge? Disagree.
Can we break it up into syllables?
Fudge. Fudge.
Fudge.
Fudge.
Fudge. Quite strange, isn't it? Fudge. If you udge, it sounds like it shouldn't have as many letters as it does. So fudge, budge. If you have a vowel that's not saying its name in front of DGE, you're going to have a j sound. Let's try one on your piece of paper with the E before the DGE. Try it, Mahina and Nahiku, and let us know what you're doing.
Shall I give Nahiko a word?
Well, I just did.
Oh,
E.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Write that word down.
E, D, G, E. Yeah, E, and then this ending D, G, E. Yep. And what word do you think that is?
Edge.
Edge. Edge is a very unusual word. How many sounds are in edge? If you had your blocks, you could show me. How many sounds?
Edge.
I heard 2 clicks of the blocks. You are correct. There are 2 sounds, but how many letters?
4.
4. You will find that combination of letters with different vowels before the DGE are common. Let's skip a line and write another very common sound that is found after vowels that don't say their names, and it's TCH. Repeat.
TCH.
Very good. And the sound of TCH is just ch, ch. And it's found in many words.
TCH.
Good. And the sound is ch. If I were to put an MA in front of TCH, what word would I have?
Match.
Please don't play with matches. Very good. So those letter combinations are multiple letters having one phonogram. My last one that I would like you to write down for us is a 4-letter phonogram, E-I-G-H. Repeat.
Could you repeat that?
I certainly can repeat it. E-I-G-H.
EIGHT.
Yes.
Go ahead and
Oh, are you turning it into a word?
Yeah.
You did automatically. Nice effort for reading and spelling. What do you think you turned it into? What word?
8.
You did. And now, what do you think those 4 letters sound like?
A.
Simply one sound. Amazing. Now, you will find that combination all over words. So that's just the beginning. We're going to stop here with our multiple letters for our last page, but do not fear. As you develop your reading and writing skills, you will notice that there are many other combinations of letters that make sounds. As you discover those, put them on this list. Remember, there's only 26 letters, but the amount of sounds is amazing. Thank you. Nahiku, you've done great, and I know that you're still in your draft modes, so I like that you're doing a first draft and a second draft, and it's okay to do it again, because we have to remember that practicing sounds, symbols, and relationships of words is exercising our brains, just like exercising our bodies helps us be fit. So exercise for our body, practice for our brain, it all fits in this unit that we hold. One thing that came up when we finished our last pages, what about that 13% that doesn't fit any rules? Well, most teachers will call them sight words, meaning you have to see them and put them in your brain and remember them. Some people will call them jail words because they just don't fit in our world of sounds and symbols and rules. So whatever you want to call those words that are sight words, or any word that gets inside your brain and you can't figure it out, you have to find a trick, a tip, some way to remember. So I have one right here in front of me. Here's the word T-H-E-R-E, right there. There.
There she is.
There she is. This word is 5 letters and it's direction. There. But if I can't remember how to spell here, if I remember just one 5-letter word, I can take the T away and I've got it right here.
You got there, they.
There, they, words that have to be memorized. Also, for me, everybody has their tricks. Think about your own tricks when you share them among yourselves. Me, I could never spell people when I was a kid. So I had a trick. My trick was P, E, O, P-O-pul. Ooh, doesn't come out very good. My trick was P-O-pul, because I could never remember the O. Whatever your tricks are, share. Do you have any tricks, Nahiku or Mahina, for your words that are?
When I was out and about without any assistance or any help wise, I would attempt to try to spell everything phonically. But still to this day, I kind of do still have them troubles about people.
Yeah, with that word P-O-pul. I don't know why but maybe E-O is a sound called E. Those things you must say. Don't be shameful and don't hurt yourself and say you cannot, because hiki no. You just have to find a different way. Make a picture to help you with your word. There are clues that you can give to yourself. Mahina, do you have any word that has always been something that you've had to have a trick for?
There are a couple words that I still till this day I struggle with. Exercise, scissors. So I just pronounce the same thing like what you did with people. I just say skizzers. And that helps me to remember that there is a silent C in the word. And that's my biggest trick, is just saying it as it's spelt. I would probably say piople is how I would help myself to be able to spell that word, but that's what I do.
And with the word there, the only way I can remember any time, whether it's supposed to be an apostrophe version of there, is to try to say it as two words. And that's the only way I can remember whether something is supposed to be they are or there. And the same with any of the other apostrophe, like your, because people are constantly using that one wrong. And you just have to use it in a sentence, you are, and then you easily have it figured out.
But if you don't turn it into its original form,
It's hard.
it's difficult. It's just like if you don't know your roots, it's going to be difficult. So, well, thanks for joining us at this strategic place, because now we're going to take all of this information, continue it into our circle, and find out how we structure this fascinating, advanced language that is not easy to arrive at structural components or the ability to read scoops of information, to make imagination. Mahalo for tuning in. You've just experienced another piece of the English language fundamentals. It's as if we're braiding a strong rope. Join us again. Ahui ho.